Hey everybody, today we're talking Batman, the Man Who Laughs. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're talking Batman again. This is Batman, the Man Who Laughs. This is by Ed Brubaker, Doug Mahnke, and Patrick Zurcher. This is basically an 80-page giant with an additional story, like 3 issues from his I guess it was a Legend of the Dark Knight run. Yeah. And this was published in 2003 and 2005. Oh, Detective Comics, 784 to 786. So anyway, but it basically, Batman the Man Who Laughs was an 80-pager published at probably when they were doing Gotham Central, if it was 2003, right? And it was basically like the new retelling of the first Joker story, where the Joker is poisoning the Gotham Reservoir, things like that. So you got Doug Mahnke in here. If you haven't seen Doug Mahnke, this is when he started doing what I like to call his like scratchy style. Because if you look, and it's basically him inking himself as opposed to anybody else. Because if you look at his stuff on JLA from the early 2000s, it is totally different than what this is. It's a bit more that style and is a bit more blocky. Same thing with his early 2000s Superman stuff. So this is when he really get into that fine line artwork that he kind of started here and then went on to do more of in Green Lantern, Black Adam, The Dark Age, Green Lantern Corps, that kind of stuff. So this is kind of the more modern Doug Mahnke, mainly because he decided to ink himself. Or, you know, he also found another inker, I think, at a different time that does ink like this style, right? Anyway, I think the story is fine as itself. I think the main thing in it is that clearly it's been reprinted numerous times. It's not big enough in terms of a story to print on its own, and it's not good enough to print on its own also. Like you have The Killing Joke is good enough on its own. Sometimes they put a lot of extras in there, but this one really needs that extra page count padding of 60 pages of the Detective Comics stuff with Patrick Zurcher to really fill out, a trade paperback you can sell for $20 or whatever it was, right? I think this one sells for $15. But anyway, I think it's fine. There's nothing special about it. It is a retelling after all. There's not a brand new inventive twist that they add to it or anything. I think the main thing that they're adding is that this is the newest retelling of that story. Joker's not really a known player in Gotham at the time. They just kind of know he's there, and this is kind of his first caper where he has he's laughing gas all over the place and is going after different people and different at the same time, and threatening to kill them at the same time. This really leans into kind of what we saw in The Dark Knight from Christopher Nolan, I think, where he was going after the judge and the cop and all that stuff at the same time and leaving notes and clues, and you didn't really know who he was going after, similar to how that movie played out. So this, I think, really did inspire that a lot, because you had Dark Knight coming out, 2008, 5 years later, so they must have had something to do with it, I think. Anyway, but I think the bigger thing is the 3 stories in the back, which is the Made of Wood storyline. It's got covers by Tim Sale. This is Detective Comics 784 through 786. It's basically Batman teaming up with Alan Scott, Green Lantern, who was operating in Gotham at the time, or had operated in Gotham in the past. And you get a little bit of a flashback in here and to who this killer was, the serial killer that they're hunting down together. And basically it all kind of ties into Green Lantern, Alan Scott's past. I think this time he is maybe going... Well, he has the Green Lantern on his chest, so I don't think he's going as Green Lantern or Sentinel. I think he's going as Green Lantern, but in the 90s he was going as Sentinel. He had like the green starburst on his chest. I think when Kyle was running around as Green Lantern. So, yeah, I think that story is a little bit better than the main Joker story, just because there's more to it. There's more of a, it feels more cohesive, whereas the Joker storyline, I think, maybe suffers nowadays from having been done so many times, or you've seen similar things from the Joker so many times. There's nothing original to it that's like, oh, you got to read this. And I think this is why this is a middle of the stack kind of Batman recommendation, right? You start off with the really strong stuff, the classics, and you make your way down, and at some point in time you're going to say, oh yeah, Man Who Laughs, it's not bad, check it out. And that's kind of how I feel about this book. So again, I don't say seek it out. if you find it and if you buy it, you're not going to have a bad time. I think you will enjoy it, but it's nothing that you need to go run out, and find anyway. If you got it in your local library, things like that, that's a great place to read it. You're not going to be disappointed, but yeah. So I think the artwork's good. I like this style of Doug Mahnke. I've always liked any style of Doug Mahnke I can get. I think I do like him in general a little bit more when he has a really good inker on top of him, finishing his pencils, as opposed to when he inks himself. When he inks himself, he's a little bit looser, as most artists typically are, I think. But I think the artwork suffers a little bit. I don't know if he's going for speed or something, but this is not his best work before or since then. That is for sure. That's just my opinion. I mean, the stuff he's doing on Instagram now with his animations is amazing. I always pay attention and sit up when Doug Mahnke is on a book. This is just not my number one Doug Mahnke book. I will say that. So that's what I thought of Batman, the Man Who Laughs. This is a trade paperback collection. There's also a deluxe edition out there, I think, that recently came out. It's got the same contents in it, maybe just a little bit of extras in the back, but it also has the Made of Wood story by Patrick Zurcher also. So yeah. Those are my thoughts. Let me know down below if I'm totally wrong. If this is your favorite Joker story of all time, please tell me why. And we will see you guys next time in the Funny Pages.